Hey everybody, it's the 23-year-old Trekkie here, but not for very much longer. Welcome to the very first video in my countdown to the 24-year-old Trekkie video series.
Oh, fascinating.
So in this series, we're going to do a lot of different things. You're going to see a lot of different content, lots of fun games, stuff like that. And it's all in celebration of the month before I turn 24 and become the 24-year-old Trekkie.
Except, of course, happy birthday. Surely the best of times.
As you can see, I'm not in my normal setup. I'm definitely not wearing a towel on my head, but I'm in the process of moving to Japan right now. So I'm in Wisconsin and have a little bit of a different setup. As you can see behind me, I have the United Federation of Planets flag. And as you can see behind me, I have some fun fandom related things that I could scrap together at the last minute. And also things that I had at my home in Wisconsin. Most of my stuff is on its way to Japan right now. But like I said, in this video series, we're going to do all sorts of fun things. And for this very first video, I think that it's very fitting that we start off with a fun game. And there's a story behind this. So, last year when I turned 23 and became the 23-year-old Trekkie, I had a bunch of friends over to my house and we had a Star Trek themed birthday party. And we had Star Trek themed food, we did Star Trek themed games, I even made little not name tags, but job tags of jobs aboard a starship, and everyone got to pick what they wanted to be. Everyone wore a different color shirt based on their division of what they wanted to do for their job. So all sorts of fun things. And in this kind of night of Star Trek, I decided I wanted to be the hostess of a trivia game. And a lot of my friends are not super big Star Trek fans, but I still decided to ask some trivia questions. Most of them are pretty basic, and I'm sure that most of you guys know the answers to all of them, but I thought it would be fun to let you guys know the answers that my friends gave to these questions.
I have much to learn.
So, I have 10 questions that I asked. Like I said, some of them are pretty basic, so I'm sure you guys know them all by heart, but let's just see the variation in answers of people that aren't really following Star Trek and their perceptions of what they think about all these things. So the very first question that I asked was, what is the size of the crew in persons of the Starship Enterprise, the NCC 1701, during the original series? Okay, so I have some answers from my friends here, and I won't name them off because I'm sure that some of them won't want to be named, but let's just see how close they are, and then I'll give the answer at the end, even though I'm sure you guys already know. Okay, so we have 900, we have 17, I mean, can you even, on the bridge? I mean, I guess you could operate with a skeleton crew, but that would be pretty tough. We have 1,014. We have 69, because of course one of my friends would say 69. 21. Some pretty low numbers here. We have 11. I think that's a joke, because I don't know that a starship could operate with 11 people. I mean, I guess you can operate it with one, like in the J.J. Abrams, that very first section where you see Chris Hemsworth. Which also I wish he'd come back for Star Trek 4. But, I mean, I guess, in a way, you can operate with one. And then we have 400. So, 400 is the closest. And for those of you that didn't already know, I mean, there's a few different numbers that are thrown around at different times, but I guess 430 is kind of like that base number that a lot of people go off of. I mean, I suppose with, Captain Pike, that number is a little bit different with the same crew. But I guess 430 is that basic number. Or at least that's what I've heard. So if you've heard anything different, comment below and let me know.
My crew is my family, Kirk. Is there anything you would not do for your family?
All right, let's move on to the second question. What color is a Vulcan's blood?
Pulse is 242.
Your blood pressure is practically non-existent.
We have red, so just like us. We have black. That's spooky. We have green. Green. We have blue. Another green. And we have green. So actually a lot of people seem to get that one. I didn't give anything away when I was asking the questions. I didn't give any hints or anything like that. But the answer is green, if you didn't already know.
Assuming you call that green stuff in your veins blood.
The readings are perfectly normal for me, Doctor, thank you. And as for my anatomy being different from yours, I am delighted.
So let's move on to the next one. So this one is, what year did the J.J. Abrams Star Trek reboot movie come out? So the first Star Trek reboot movie, or first movie in the Kelvin timeline. I suppose reboot probably wasn't the best way to phrase it, but I suppose if I started throwing around with my friends, if I threw around Kelvin timeline, they'd be like, wait, huh? Like, what even is that? So I just said reboot, hoping that they would understand what that meant. But technically, yes. What year did the first movie in the Kelvin timeline come out?
Jim Kirk. McCoy. Leonard McCoy.
We have 2008, 2009, 2013, 2012. We have a 1910, which is very much not correct, but whatever. And then we have a 2009. So the answer is 2009. Most of my friends are pretty close, except for that one oddball that threw in the 1910, which is of course not possible, especially if you've ever seen the movie. It's very obvious it wasn't made in 1910. It's not something you turn on Turner Classic Movies and pops up, but oh well. All right, question 4. Commander Will Riker plays what instrument? We have the tuba, trumpet, trombone, trombone, trombone. We have Patrick Stewart. So, someone thinks that Will Riker plays Patrick Stewart.
A fairly routine maneuver, but you handled it quite well.
Thank you, sir. I hope I show some promise.
And we have trombone. So that was actually, seemed to be one that a lot of people got. I don't know if maybe it's because I've talked about it, because my husband plays trombone. So maybe I had mentioned something about it previously. I don't know. But I don't think that Will Riker plays Patrick Stewart. Just a thought. Okay, so number 5. What sport did Captain Sisko really enjoy? We have baseball. We have soccer. We have soccer. Soccer. Football. Patrick Stewart ball. I should just have expected this. This was one of my friends who's definitely pretty funny and sarcastic, so I suppose I should have expected that from him. And baseball. So we started good and ended good with baseball. So yes, baseball is the answer. Go Niners! Okay. Number 6. What is Captain Kirk's middle name? And I did give them the hint. Not really a hint, but I said his middle initial is T. So what's his middle name? We have Thunder. James Thunder Kirk. We have Tiberius. We have Tiberius. We have Tyler. We have another Thunder, James Thunder Kirk. What is this thunder? Where did that come from? We have Tatrick Tewart. So James Tatrick Tewart Kirk. I can't. And then we have Tiberius. Yes, it's Tiberius. Although there is one episode. Oh, the name is escaping me right now of the name of this episode. Oh, where you see his gravestone and it's not T, it's like G or something like that. I just watched it the other day and I can't think of what it's called. It's gonna come to me. It will. Let's move on to question 7. What species did humans first make contact with in the Star Trek universe? We have... okay. We have Vulcans, but this is a long answer. Vulcans, but technically the Borg when they blew shit up. Okay. We have the Kegels. It's an interesting one. We have gooey aliens with black eyes. We have Vulcans. We have Vulcans. Vulcans? Vulcanans? That's fine, I'll take it. And then Klingons. So, I mean, I guess one of my friends is a little bit more Star Trek inclined than others, so I suppose that their answer was the closest. But yes, Vulcans. Technically, the very first contact, like official first contact, is with the Vulcans. That's why we celebrate First Contact Day every year.
Live long and prosper.
Or some of us celebrate First Contact Day every year. Let's move on to question 8. So, the Wrath of Khan is, or this is, I seem to phrase these not very well, and I have like chicken scratch, so I'm trying to make out what I actually asked based on the answers. So, the Wrath of Khan was what number in the Star Trek movies? So, what number Star Trek movie was Wrath of Khan? If I'm phrasing that right. I think you guys know what I mean. So, like, Star Trek, whatever number, in the order in which it was made, or that it was deemed what is Wrath of Khan. We have 2. We have 4. I couldn't figure out what that was. We have 2. We have 2. 20th. What? I cannot read this one. I cannot read that. This is going to be hard for you. Not that you guys can read it either. Googles? That's not a number. Whatever. But yes, it's 2. Star Trek 2. Wrath of Khan. Which is one of my very favorite Star Trek movies. But I do appreciate that one of my friends said 20th, because just goes to show that they, in their mind, even though they haven't seen very much Star Trek, they know that there's a lot of Star Trek. So I would rather the numbers be higher for people to assume, wow, there's been lots of movies made, which there has been, and lots of series. So I appreciated that from my friend.
We tried it once your way, Khan. Are you game for a rematch? Khan, I'm laughing at the superior intellect.
Full impulse power.
No, sir. You have Genesis. You can have whatever you... Full power. There.
Okay, number 9. Who commanded the Starship Enterprise before Captain Kirk? Directly before Captain Kirk is more accurate. I feel like I gotta make these questions more structured for you guys, because there's a lot of, I guess, in certain ways you could be like, okay, well, who's before Captain Kirk? It's just not just Captain Pike, but the question is directly before Captain Kirk. We have Captain Picardy. Picardy sounds like Bacardi. Captain Bacardi, party ship. Okay. We have James Kirk. So before Captain Kirk was Captain Kirk. We have no answer. It's just blank. Okay. We have Captain Price. Price? Prince? Price? We have Captain Stick. Captain Pike. And J.J. Wentworth. Oh, man. Yes, Captain Pike. Directly before Captain Kirk. And also have loved seeing all the Captain Pike stuff with Anson Mount. Fingers crossed, I'm hoping for a Captain Pike miniseries. Don't know if it'll happen. I think they're going to market Picard first, but that'd be interesting.
Hit it.
Alrighty. Here's the last question. In the original draft for Star Trek, or the idea of Star Trek, what was the name of the ship? It was not the Enterprise, it was something else. We have, I'm going to keep the funny or the sarcastic answers for the end because I think that's the greatest. We have the Explorer. We have the USSR Enterprise, Nina Pinta, or Santa Maria. Okay. We have Voyager. It's a good thought. We have Penelope. We have the USS Dirk de Kirk. It's an interesting one. We have the Space Needle. And we have the USS Patrick Stewart, which I was expecting something along those lines. Actually, these aren't all the answer cards, because it would take way too long to go through each one of them. But the answer is the Yorktown, which ends up actually being the space station / space city in Star Trek Beyond, which is really cool. So, that's all 10 of the questions. If you didn't know any of the answers, now you do. I hope you appreciated the answers. I really appreciate that all my friends came out last year and tried to answer them to the best of their ability. So, thank you for joining me on this video series, and there's much more to come. Okay, well, I'll see you guys back tomorrow for something else fun and countdown to 24-year-old Trekkie related. All right, guys, I hope you have a great day. Live long and prosper. And keep an eye out to my Facebook, my Instagram, my Twitter, my website for all sorts of fun stuff. And yeah, check it out. Okay, bye.